She bit the puppy out of fear, constantly getting triggered by the small Frenchie Chihuahua mix, scared to walk, like couldn't hardly put her on a collar or a leash. You'd have to chase her around the house. Anytime we had to take her somewhere, we'd have to chase her around the house to put it on her. Now she sits by the door.
I'm gonna have Amanda explain the process of what we've had to do just to get her to this point, or whatever she believes has made the most change in the training process.
I really think just being able to walk her, because once I started walking her every single night, whether we were tired or not, we still did it. She was having to face things that she was scared of. Cars, flags on the flagpole, people, dogs, really anything. And so once I was able to walk her better, I was able to, make her see those things. And now we walk against traffic where the cars are coming at us.
Do you feel like you had to force her to walk?
No.
Or she just...
No, now she loves it. And so
but
now...
I'm talking about in the beginning. Did you feel like you had to force her?
In the beginning, yeah, it was hard to get her for us to walk comfortably.
Yeah.
She'd want to run off, and I'm like, no, heel, no, heel. Now she automatically will come and...
She wants to do it.
Yes, she wants to do it. She enjoys it.
But at first she was so fearful that she didn't even know she liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with like the car. Every time, ever since we've had her, she would stand on the console and just drool. Scared to death. She looked scared. And then our first training session with you, on the way home, she stayed in the back. Probably about 10 minutes before we got home, she laid down. That was the first time I ever see her lay down in the back seat of a car. And ever since then, she stays in the back seat now.
She's been chilling a little bit more.
Yes.
You know, a lot of times when people see like the dog be nervous, they feel like maybe the dog was abused before, or it came from a bad household. How long did you have her?
Since she was 7 weeks old.
7 weeks old.
7 weeks old.
And
I used to carry her around like an infant.
So she ain't never been beat.
She's never been
never
abused.
had that lifestyle that made her.
No.
And I know Amanda, so I know how she is with dogs. Like she a dog lover. She not even real strict. She not really real firm. Just in her nature.
I'm like, oh, you want to lay in my bed and you don't want me in there? Okay, whatever makes you. I put their happiness above mine.
So.
And I created a monster. Is basically what I did.
Yeah.
I've learned that now. Putting her needs and her happiness ahead of mine kind of made her fearful and have anxiety. Therefore, made me have anxiety because I wasn't sure how she was going to react. And now, like every night, we go out for our walks, and she's getting used to seeing people. And at first, the first week or two, she would somewhat react, and I would tell people, I was like, look, I'm sorry. She's learning how to make friends. And they're like, oh, no, that's okay. And the other day, we ran into a guy who was holding the weed eater, and she was looking at him, and he could tell she wasn't sure. And he's like, is it okay if I start this? Like, actually, people in my neighborhood have been very nice about, she's scared. Okay, well, I won't walk any closer, or can I go ahead and start the lawnmower or the weed eater? Like, they've been very conscious about it. The guy with the machete that was cutting down his tree, like, she did not like him. He looked like he was scared of her. But he stopped what he was doing, walked over to the garage, and just let us walk past him.
Yeah.
So I think that's been helpful too, that people haven't been egging her on.
Yeah.
Because I feel like some guys are like that, like, oh no, come here. And I'm like, no, please don't.
Doing too much, basically.
Yes, yes. Oh no, all dogs love me. I'm like, no, that's not the case.
No, exactly.
Now is not the time to be macho.
But usually, like when dogs be like fearful like that, most people avoid the situation because it makes the dog uncomfortable. So let me avoid this because. But you've been doing the very opposite right now. Like I showed you to do the opposite. If a dog is afraid of something.
You're afraid of it, we're going to do it. And we're going to do it every day now.
Yeah, still go do it anyway. If it floods the dog, meaning if it's too much going on, don't bring the dog into that situation. But if it's not something that's just too crazy, make the dog learn how to deal with that situation. That's how you make a strong dog.
Our new thing is, now that she does ride well in the car, I was like, okay, let's start doing new places. So I go to Chick-fil-A when the people are outside taking your order. I was like, oh, let's try this. Was not a fan of those people. She didn't like them walking to the car. So now anytime I want a soft drink, we're taking her in the car, we're going to Chick-fil-A. I'm like, you're gonna learn that this isn't something that you have to react to.
So she don't like people? Well, she didn't like people? Walking on dogs?
Yeah, she didn't like anything but me and my daughter. And the dogs we have at home, her best friend's a basset hound.
Yeah.
Her and Lulu are like two peas in a pod. They run together, they play together, but that was the only person or dog that she liked. And then my daughter.
But a dog this close right now?
Oh, never in a million years. Never in a million years. And I'm actually relaxed about it. Like, I'm not even holding her leash. Like, she's so...
Yeah, she testing the waters right now. Like, she ain't even got her hands on the leash, so if the dog comes, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
But I mean, look, because I see
Yeah,
how
she
calm.
chilling, though.
She's
Yeah, she
so
chilling.
calm right now.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done this. I would have never even trusted you to even attempt to do this.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I'd have been like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
They're going to fight.
If you give a dog that much freedom, that's just like giving a teenage boy that much freedom. He gonna be wild, you know. And he gonna have his issue because he never learned how to deal with stress. He never learned how to,
Have structure.
yeah, have no structure. So with a dog, people just don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
They had the same issues they would have with a person or whatever, but they just don't know how to deal with it when it comes out of a dog.
Right. I mean, a completely different dog just within 3 weeks. And before, anytime we tried to take her like to the vet, we'd have to chase her around the house just to even get a collar. And before I was like, oh, well, she doesn't walk well, we'll put her on a harness. I'm like, that's the worst thing you can do is put a damn harness because that gives them more power to keep pulling away. They're not going to walk right. Mm-hmm. So with our new puppy, I told my daughter, I was like, I don't ever want to see a harness in this house again.
For sure.
We're doing nothing but yeah, you think it's easy, but in the long run, you're screwing yourself.
Yeah.
By not putting them on a collar and a leash and teaching them to walk.
Some people feel like, you know, I don't want to choke the dog. So
That's how I felt. Yeah. I'm like, oh, you poor dog. So here, I'll make it harder on me so you can yank me all over the place.
Yeah, yeah. You
And
still put the dog pleasure above yours.
Yeah. Still was doing it. Now I'm like, every harness in our house, get rid of. Like even our basset hound. We had her on one. Nope. Ever since we started with this one, Lulu's been walking on a leash and a collar. Completely different dog.
Yeah, you just got more control of the dog with a collar. You need control of the dog neck if you're
Yes.
gonna have real control.
Yeah, because otherwise she would pull me over.
Exactly, exactly. And so many people get hurt. Like we have clients all the time that got stitches, the dog done pulled them over.
Oh, I believe it.
You know, and they don't want to choke the dog. They feel like they're choking the dog, but they don't care if the dog dragging them a block down the street.
I had to go get my surgery on my shoulder. I don't care about that, but the dog didn't get its feelings hurt.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly how I used to
But
think.
he's a wonderful dog at the same
Great
time.
dog. Great dog. But I get how people get in, because I was the exact same way. Oh, I don't want to hurt her feelings, or I don't want her to think I'm being mean, but then you're kind of stuck at your house. People can't come over. You can't go and do fun things outdoors, so that's why I bought her. I've never owned a high energy dog. And I'm like, now that all my Great Danes are gone, I was like, I want a ride or die dog. And I'm like, I got one, but we couldn't ride and do anything because she was scared of everything. So I'm like, we're stuck in this house. Now I want to take her to Lowe's when I go buy air filters, or take her when we go through the drive-through. Tonight I'm going to try to go to Sylvan Beach and walk her, different atmosphere, different people, just so she can start getting acclimated to it. And it's easier to do it with her.
What you're doing is what you have to do. The older a dog gets and you're not starting to acclimate it and socialize it, if it's nervous, then it just exacerbates it just makes the dog worse.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, even we took her out to LaPorte, I think it's like the third Saturday of the month. They do this little vendor thing in Old LaPorte. We took her, she was a puppy still. And this little tiny puppy came up near and she freaked out. And I'm like, you're scared of a puppy? You're a Doberman, act like one. And now that I look back, that should have been my first red flag. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, oh, you need to keep taking her out. You need to keep taking her out. But every time I would, it's almost like I couldn't handle her. Mm-hmm. Everyone's like, you just need to get her out and expose her. But if you can't walk her and you really don't know what you're doing and how to reward when she does do well in those situations, that's why we were finally like, okay, we'll just stay home all the time.
Yeah.
But
and
now I'm not
that probably
scared
shocked you too, because you don't get a Doberman thinking it's gonna be afraid.
No, you're a Doberman. Act like,
You're a
act
Doberman.
like a Doberman. She acts like a Chihuahua.
Y'all might be able to hear a dog whining in the background. It's a Doberman whining in the background right now. So Dobermans, just any dog breed, not all of them are the same. You know, I feel like I be preaching that. They're not all the same. It's different personalities within this breed. Some of them are protective. Some of them are nervous. Some of them are skittish. Some of them seem like they're intelligent. They're all different. And you don't never really know what you get. And if you know how to test a puppy, you can kind of test for some of these things before you get it. But the average person doesn't know how to test, nor do they think they need to test a dog. Dog is cute. It's the breed I want. Bam.